Hi, this is Investing and Finance, just Joey Style, and I want to tell you kind of the reason that I got into stocks. And well, I've always been good with finance and stuff like that, but my grandfather is actually the one that got me into stocks. He was really good at that. He did it for a very long time. He was a big blue chip guy, which just basically means a big, well-established company that paid dividends, and he did very well for himself. He was also a very big business person, and he was a very honest business person. And I have the utmost respect for what he did and the way he conducted himself, and he was a very, very important person in the community. He was fair in his business, and he also did what he could to help people out. He was a great man. And I think he'd be proud of me. And in my community, I also made a course for very, very, very beginners that don't know anything about the market at all. And I dedicated to him and my grandmother. But the one thing about my grandfather that really sticks with me, and that I've done, and I didn't really realize that, that he did it too, and is he always learned from his mistakes. He was very good at what he did. He was amazing, very diligent, very disciplined, very consistent. And that's what it takes to be good in the markets. It's just consistency and discipline. And then learning from your mistakes. And that's why he did so well. And I have here, after he passed away, there's only a few things. I don't need a lot of stuff, and I don't like a lot of stuff, but there was one thing that pretty much everybody was like, yeah, that should probably go to Joey. And it's this. I don't know how well you can see it, but that's an actual stock certificate. That's what they used to issue back in the day, and you can still get them actually. I think. I actually have to look that up, but you can still show the ownership from the CTCC, but anyhow, or the clearinghouse, the TCC. I'm rambling. Anyhow, this was a stock that he had bought, and he lost everything on it. Everything. The company went out of business, from what I understand. So he got this certificate and he framed it. Some people probably thought he was nuts framing something like that, but he knew that by framing this mistake and putting it in front of his face every single day, that he wouldn't make the same mistake twice, and that he would grow from it. And he did just that, and that's what I do. I made a lot of mistakes several years back. A lot of mistakes. But I framed them all. And I learned from every one of them. So, not only did I get the certificate from my grandfather, but I also got the discipline and the consistency from him too. I'm a lot different of an investor than he is to some degree. I invest in different things. I look for different things. I'm a growth and income oriented. That's my niche, however you say that. And but my principles are the same as his. Solid, fundamentally good companies that have proven themselves and should be able to stick around and flourish over the coming years. I wish my grandfather was here today so that I could probably argue with him about what my investments are against his anyhow, but to discuss strategies and to show him that it took me a little longer than it probably should have, but I learned all the fundamentals and all the things that I needed to from him to do better. And that's why I also have the confidence to tell everybody else what I'm doing. And I'll let you know, my portfolio was down over 40% at one point this year. And I wasn't scared or anything like that by any means, because the companies that I had purchased, nothing changed with them. The price of them just went down. So other people got scared, sold their stock, and the price went down. That's pretty much all that happened. Nothing happened, nothing changed with my strategy, nothing changed with my companies. So I continued my strategy and my investing thesis, and 3 months after the low point of my account, it's now up 110% from the lowest point, which is up about 40% from the beginning of the year, and that's when I started this particular portfolio for this community. So I'm not worried about the short term. I'm not worried about the short-term price swings. I'm worried about the long-term fundamentals of the companies that I'm in. So if you want to learn how to invest, it's a good place to do it. It's pretty inexpensive. $50 for the rest of the month, and then it'll be $50 for a year, and it's $100 for a year in August, because there's a promotion going on right now. So, or $5 a month or $10 a month. Just, I said that kind of weird. It's $50 a year, $5 a month right now, and then in August it's going to go up to $100 a year or $10 a month. But please go find somebody that has passion, that wants to see people flourish, that wants to help you get better in the markets. And then I can also help teach a few things in getting your short-term finances and the basics under control. But if you're ready to invest, growth and income oriented, good fundamentally sound companies, you can mimic my portfolio, or we can talk about a decent one for you, but I will be growth oriented. So if that's what you're looking for, come on in, check it out. This is Finance and Investing, just Joey style.